किसने सुनाया? वाल्मीकि contou. Once Narada Rishi told Valmiki Rishi in brief the Ramayana. Narada told Valmiki Ramachandra Katha in brief. The gods were afraid from?
The expert should do the expert thing.
I want to hear, so that's why. Valmiki heard this, and then he asked to Narada Rishi, who knows all the truths from the three worlds. Sorry, I cannot keep up like when. Hard to keep up from reading like this. So there was a person who came in the Ikshvaku dynasty. He's known by the name Rama. Talking about whom, Ram? Dasharatha Maharaja. Who is Jitendriya? He's talking Ram or Dasharatha or Ikshvaku? Huh? Ikshvaku is Jitendriya and beautiful. From reading, I cannot keep up. You can keep up. You also think.
He's reading, he'll explain then. He's reading right now, then he will explain.
So translate what he's reading. Here, Narada Rishi. In brief, he told the story of Ramayana to Valmiki Rishi. Valmiki Rishi को सुना. Dasharatha Maharaja appears in the dynasty of Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku means Ikshvaku. And then Dasharatha Maharaj had prepared the abhishek for his son Ram. Abhishek means when Rama will become the king. Coronation. I don't know if this word exists. Coronation. Okay. Dasharatha Maharaj, he was old already, so Dasharatha thought, let me give all the duties and responsibility to my son, and then I'll be able to go worship God. What is the goal of life? Is to worship God. If you didn't worship Bhagavan, your life was in vain. It was useless. That's why Dasharatha Maharaj, what did he do? Wanted to give all the wealth and all the responsibilities of the kingdom to Ram. He was ready to do that already. But seeing this, the Queen Kaikeyi asked 2 blessings that he had already promised before. She asked 2 blessings to the King Dasharatha. What did she ask for? 2 things. That Lord Rama would be in exile in the forest for 14 years. And at the same time, another blessing, that Bharata should be the king. The king Dasharatha, because he was always truthful and always keeping his promises, that's why Rama had to go to exile. Then to follow the words of his father, Ramachandra went to the forest. Lakshman also went to the forest. Lakshman was very dear to Ram. Sita appeared from Janak Maharaj. She was very beautiful and topmost amongst the women. She was the dear wife of Ram. So Ramachandra went to the forest with Lakshman and Sita. Just like Rohini Nakshatra is always with the moon. That time, Dasharatha Maharaj, the father of Ram, कौन क्या किया दशरथ महाराज जय से रोहिणी नक्षत्र with the moon. उसी प्रकार दशरथ महाराज Rohini Nakshatra was with the moon, and the same way Dasharatha Maharaj and what happened? Bhagavan Ramachandra, the first day, पहले दिन कहाँ गए? The first day, where did he go to? So he met the king Nishadaraj, Gohak. He met after Ram went to exile. First time he left Ayodhya. He met this Nishadaraj. Lakshman and Sita were with Ram. Look, okay, Ramachandra was walking to the exile. Who was with him? Behind him, Sita, and behind her, Lakshman. Seeing the beautiful form of Ramachandra, everyone will become enchanted and mesmerized. But especially those people who are living in the forests. They asked Sita-devi, who is your husband between these two men? Ram and Lakshman both were really gorgeous. One not less than the other. And Sita, she gave a beautiful answer to these ladies who asked her this question. What did she say? That one who is going in the front and which was behind me. So that one who is going in front, they were. So she's saying that one who is behind me, he's my brother-in-law, and that one who is in front is brother of this brother-in-law. So that one who is going in front, and that what so is going behind is Lakshman, right? Lakshman. So Lakshman is my devar, means he's my brother-in-law. He's the younger brother of my husband, and he is the brother of that one which is in front. So she would say indirectly that Rama is her husband, because according to the Alankara Shastra, if you speak something indirectly, there's more sweetness, because if you speak directly, like straightforward, there's not so much sweetness in it. And Rasa Madhurya. That's why Sita would speak indirectly that Rama was her husband. So in this way, Swayambhava, he came to Chitrakut. He was stay a little bit for some time in Chitrakut. And then Dasharatha Maharaja in the kingdom, feeling separation from Ram, he suffered so much because Rama had gone to the exile. Dasharatha Maharaj told, just take Ram to the forest to see the forest and then bring him back. Because Kaikeyi, what did she say? 14 years he should stay in the forest. Then Ramachandra, to follow the words of his father, he went to the forest. He could not enter in any kingdom or like city or. So how did Vibhishan made him king, Rajtilak? Because after Ravana was killed, the kingdom went to Ram. And so what happened was that actually Rama didn't enter the kingdom of Ravan. Vibhishan did some tilak in him, like a coronation for Ram, because he killed the Ravan, which was the king of Lanka, right? So Ramachandra would follow even small things, each syllable of the words of his father he would follow. Each syllable of the words of his father. So Rama didn't enter inside this, like inside the Lanka in the court, like a palace distance. So anyway, so Dasharatha saw that Rama was not coming back. What happened is very beautiful explained. Like when Rama, Lakshmi, and Sita sat on the chariot to proceed to the forest, all the subjects, they actually followed behind them. All the subjects, they were following behind Ramachandra. Ramachandra saw, all the subjects are here. Then Ramachandra, what did he do? when he crossed like the border of Ayodhya, he had to rest in one place, and all the subjects were also with him, right? But in the evening time, they went to take rest. So midnight, Ramachandra told Sumanta, his prime minister, take my chair here and there, sometimes in the front, sometimes the back, to like how to say like this, despistar, how to say in English, like so that in the morning they'll try to find me, like following these tracks, but then in this way they'll be lost because, huh? Decoy, decoy, to decoy. So in the morning they woke up, they didn't find Ram anymore. They saw the tracks of the wheels of the chariot. They were trying to follow it, but they couldn't find because sometimes going one side, another side, the tracks. So all the subjects felt so hopeless, completely hopeless, and they came back to Ayodhya because Ramachandra left during the night. So Ramachandra crossed the Ganges and came to Chitrakut. When Ramachandra was not coming back, then Dasharatha Maharaja was suffering so much, and he gave up his body, calling out Haram, Haram. Actually, there's one story behind this also. When he was young, Dasharatha Maharaj, once he had gone to the forest to hunt. Dasharatha Maharaj had so much knowledge of the bow and arrow, so he had one arrow called Shabda-Bedi Ban. It's one arrow that works by the sound. For example, the target emits a sound, and then the arrow will follow that sound until attaining the target. Nowadays, you hear about the missiles. The scientists, they researched and created this kind of weapons. At the time, this kind of Shabdaban means arrow, sound arrows. So they used to use this kind of arrows and weapons. So Dasharatha Maharaj went to the jungle to hunt. And then, from very far, next to a river, there was at that moment, the son of the Shravana Kumar. So the son of that blind Muni called Shravana Kumar, he was there. And he had come to the river to fetch water to serve his parents. So he was fetching water in that river. Then Dasharatha Maharaj thought that sound was coming from a deer drinking water. So from far, very far, Dasharatha Maharaj shot the Shabda-Bedi Ban, which is going by the sound of the target, and actually the shot, the arrow pierced, hit this boy, Shravana Kumara, son of the blind Muni. And then he was like agonizing and like because he was shot by an arrow. Then finally he gave up his body. Then Dasharatha Maharaj came and he saw it was not a deer, it was just an innocent boy without any fault. Dasharatha Maharaj was so upset. What to do? Then, before dying, the boy told Dasharatha Maharaj, so my blind parents, they are so thirsty, please give water to them. So Dasharatha Maharaj brought the dead body of that innocent boy and also water along with him. And then Dasharatha Maharaj came where the blind parents and Muni also money of the boy were. So Dasharatha Maharaj was so ashamed what to say, what to do, coming to the parents of the boy. But the parents heard he was approaching and said, "Oh, son, please give us water quickly," because they were blind. "We are very thirsty." "You are late, no problem." Actually, his parents, the parents of this boy, were thinking, "Oh, our son is late for any reason, but he came. Maybe he was playing with someone, or that's why he got late. But oh, my son, please give us water to drink." So the two old parents, blind parents, they told this. Then Dasharatha Maharaj, what could he speak to them? Which word to use? What to say? And then Dasharatha Maharaj, he told, "I'm an offender. I have killed your son with the Shabda Ban. I have shot your son. Before giving up his body, your son told me to give water to his parents because he said that you were very thirsty." Hearing this, both the parents, mother, father, blind, they fainted. Then the old mother said, "How can we drink water from your hands? You have killed our own son. It's a great sin. Does anyone drink water from the hand of a sinner person?" So both cursed Dasharatha Maharaj. Just like now, we are dying, feeling separation from our son, suffering. In the same way, you will also suffer and suffer, and you will give up your body, feeling separation from your son. Dasharatha Maharaj told this to Kaushalya and Sumitra. And this is a beautiful description about this. At the time, Kaikeyi, she came and tried to pacify him. But Dasharatha Maharaj told, "You're like a snake. You're the destroyer of the dynasty. If I touch your body, I'll go to hell." "I give up you." But Kaushalya and Sumitra, both they pacified Dasharatha Maharaj. But in the end, thinking about that curse, in the end Dasharatha Maharaj gave up his body. Suffering, like slowly suffering and just giving up the body. In the Ramananda Saga Ramayana, you can see in a very beautiful way these scenes beautifully pictured. It's really touching the heart makes your heart melt if you watch this. So Dasharatha Maharaj, in this way, feeling separation from Ram, he gave up his body. When Rama went to Chitrakut, the King Dasharatha felt so much separation. He was suffering separation, and then he gave up his body. Then Vasishtha Rishi called some Brahmanas to help. So they tried to make Bharata the king, but then Bharata said, "No, let's make Ram the king." So everyone went to Chitrakut to try to make Ram become king. Actually, on that day that Dasharatha Maharaj feeling separation from Ram, he gave up his body. That time, Bharata and Shatrugna, they were not in Ajodhya. They were in Nanihal. They were in the Nanihal. Bharata started having some bad dreams, some dreams. And his mind became so disturbed, so disturbed. How I'm having these bad dreams today? If you have some dream in your life, Apsagut, you have some hints of what is going to happen. So Bharata woke up early in the morning and he had nightmares. So he had nightmares, so he spoke everything to his grandfather, Nanaji. So, because Bharata was there in the house of his grandfather from mother's side. So, how come I had such a bad dream? For example, in some nightmare, you can see that you see a dead body, for example, in a dream. Or your head is under, you're walking with your head upside down and feet up. This is nightmares. Even the scientists that study the dream, they also explain the nightmares. No, you dream, and in your dream, you're upside down in the dream. So if you see a dream in Brahma Muhurta time, from 3 a.m. to 4 or 5 until 5, if you have a dream, whether it's good or bad, that becomes true. Yeah, it's true. And it happens. The Swapna began means scientists that study the dream, and no English term. They say this. If you see a nightmare, you should Tatal. You should remember the holy names. You should remember the names of Bhagavan if you have a bad dream, nightmare. And again go back to sleep. Then, but if you sleep again and then again same dream come back, because it should be like you sleep and that dream should be like destroyed if you sleep again. By remembering the name of Bhagavan, all the bad things will go away, all the inauspicious things will go away. Also, we hear about Kamsa, that on that day in which Krishna killed Kamsa, one day before, during the night, Kamsa had terrible nightmares. Sometimes ghosts and witches come and pollute your mind. And that's why Shastra explains, before sleeping, when you sit on the bed, for some time you should chant the holy names. Even the Gayatri mantra also. With like pure behavior, like you should be clean and everything. Clean clothes. You should remember the names of Lord. And then you go to sleep. When you sleep, you should take the name of Padmanabha Bhagavan. Janard. When you eat, the name of Janardan. So God has 16 names. And you should remember these names specifically when you do different things. The scriptures explain about this. What is this slok? Let's check it. All these rules are there. Especially when you go to sleep during the night. Then you should remember Padmanabh and go to sleep. Clean very nicely your feet and hands. Hands, feet and mouth. Shayad Sorry, again? Ganga Jal. हाँ था. Clean the water of the Ganges also. आपके हाथ पैर और मुंह. If you do this, the nightmares will not come. Do you have bad dreams or not? This is worse. Or Shadanam? When you take a medicine, remember Vishnu. When you eat, remember Janardhan. When you sleep, remember Padmanabh. When you marry, remember Prajapati. When you go to fight, remember Chakradhar. When you go elsewhere, like a far distant place, remember Tirvikram. In the time of giving up the body, take the name of Narayan. Narayan, like a Jamil. When you're with your beloved, remember Shridhar. When you are with your wife, remember Shridhar. Take the name of Shridhar Bhagavan when you are with your wife. And if you have bad dream, remember Govinda. You should take the name of Govinda if you have a bad dream. In any dilemma or problem, remember Madhusudan. In the time of problems, chant the name of Madhusudana. When you travel, remember Nishadev Bhagavan. Like when you are in the woods or in the forest, remember Nishadev Bhagavan. Kana Nina Rasinha means when you're in the woods or something, forest, remember Nishadev. If there's a fire somewhere, if you see a fire, then at that time, remember Sheshashai Vishnu. In the water, remember Varahadev. So if you're sinking in the water, remember Varahadev Bhagavan. Parvati Raghunandana. If you're climbing a hill or going up in the hill, remember Raghunandana, Shriram. And if you go somewhere, remember Lord Vamanadev. And remember always the name of Madhav, whatever you do. So how to chant the 16 names of Shri Hari? Every day you should chant these names. But what we're talking about, in the time of sleeping, you should take the name of Padmanabh. When you eat, remember Janardhan. So I was talking about nightmare. So if you have a bad dream, Gobindo. If you have a bad dream, remember Govinda. Take the name of Govinda. And all the problems will be destroyed. Huh? If you, before, like when you go to sleep, how should be your bed? Should be also clean. Your bed should be clean, spotless, clean, pure. Should be like fragrant. Fragrance, fragrant bed. Perfume should be pure. Every day you should clean it. Wash the bed sheet. Wash the bed sheet every day. Change your bed sheet every day. Change your bed sheet. Should be pure, spotless. The more dirty, more the ghosts and witches would catch that. These rules are there. Hari Bhakti Vilas describes about this Shuddha Sadachara. You should never sleep. The, the clothes which you sleep in night. No, you should not do the anik with the clothes that you slept with. Should not. Basic clothes means the clothes you wear during the day or during the night. What, can you say again? So that clothes we need to use during the night. When you wake up in the morning, you have to change that clothes. Reject that cloth. And should take the fresh cloth in the morning. The next day, you have to wash the clothes in which you slept with and use fresh clothes. First, before doing the bhajan, let's see if you learn Shuddha Sadachara. If you don't have common sense, how come to attain transcendental knowledge? So you heard Bhagavad for 7 days. What is the benefit? First of all, you have to learn Shuddha Sadachara and do the Bhagavad Bhajan. Should wear pure and fresh clothes. Otherwise, the ghost will come and you'll never even attain mantra siddhi, perfection in the mantra, nothing. I didn't even speak anything. Give me more 2 minutes. So all you know the katha. Who doesn't know the katha? You know everything. How many times you heard? You know, but you don't know it. Yeah? You know, but don't know. You know, but don't know. So, means that from day before, old. So last night, the cloth which you used for sleeping, you should reject. Means you have to put in the washing machine. The clothes we need to sleep with, you should put in the washing machine next day in the morning. You should not wear those clothes. Then you put fresh clothes, take a bath, take a shower. Even if you take a physical bath, you have to take mantra snan before doing the anik. Even though you have shower, like bath, you also need to do mantra snan. Om pavitro apavitro va sarvagasta. Pundarikaksha means Pundarik means lotus, Aksha means eyes. His eyes are like the lotus, very beautiful, reddish. be pure inside and outside. Okay, if you bathe, your outside body will be clean, but inside, the impurity from inside, how it will go out? Away by chanting the holy names. So the glories of the holy names. That's why in the morning after waking up you should first take your japamala. Whenever you sleep, next to your head, you should keep your japamala right there. Then as soon as you wake up, immediately chant Harinam. First I have to learn the Shuddha Sadachar. Once, Shivji told Parvati told Shiva, "Oh Nath, people are chanting the name of Ram and they are taking bath in the Ganges. All of them will be delivered and go to the abode of Lord?" Then Shiva answered, "Depends on their faith. Because they are chanting the holy names, they are bathing the Ganges. It's not enough," Parvati replied. Then Shiva said, "What can I tell you more? Let's do one test." So at that time, Shiva manifested in a form of a leprosy person, and Parvati sat near him. Everyone who was going to bathe in the Ganges, everyone told, "Look," he told everyone, "Please, before bathing in the Ganges, this leprosy person, Shiva in disguise, asked the people, please bring one lota, one pot of Ganga water." Actually, Parvati was asking the people, "And bring some Ganga water for my husband. Before you bathe in the Ganges, bring, so that I can put in my husband." Everyone was chanting Ram, 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 bathing in the Ganges from morning until midday. No one, before bathing, brought one pot of Ganges water to bathe in Shiva, to offer to Shiva, the leprosy person. Everyone, they were chanting the names of Ram. Actually, the fruit that you have bathing in the Ganges, you can have the billions of times even more results only by chanting the holy names. So people chant Ram Nam, but they don't have faith. They think that bathing the Ganges purifies much more than chanting the holy names. What is the water of the Ganges actually? It's the foot bathing water of Bhagavan. And which Bhagavan? Vamanadeva Bhagavan, not from Krishna. The Samsa, like plenary portion, Vamanadeva. His foot bathing water, which Brahmaji kept in his pot. Thousands years later, Bhagirati, the king in the Sagar dynasty, came and brought these Ganges to this world. He did the hardest tests, and only one drop of that water from the foot bathing water he manifested in this material world. This one drop has 3 streams. Mandakini in Swargaloka, Bhagirati here in this world, and in Patal, Bhagavati. So this water of the Ganges is the bathing water of Lord. But people don't have faith that holy name is as purifying, as much more purifying actually than the water of the Ganges. So the glories of the holy names. If you take the holy names of Lord, everything becomes purified. Harinam is higher than Sri Hari. Shiva told, "Look, people are bathing the Ganges, they are chanting the name of Ram, but no one thought, if I chant the holy names, already I'm like bathing a billion times in the Ganges." I'm not saying that don't bathe, or something like that. Just chant the name of Ram. I'm not saying this. Early in the morning, you must bathe. But if your body is not okay for some reason, cannot tolerate bathing in the morning because of some health issue. So just give some exception. Okay, you can do mantras non only, which is chanting this mantra. Om Pavitra Pavitra Va. And take some water and put in your head. Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. At least 3 times you chant the name of Vishnu. Throw in some water in your head, over your head. So briefly, Narada Rishi told all Ramachandra to Valmiki Rishi. Then after that, Valmiki went to do. He went in the river to take a bath with his disciple Bharata, and then he saw the 2 Kronchapakshi, 2 cranes, couple crane, bird, and then at that moment, a crow hunter from far killed the male crane with an arrow, and then the male parrot, male bird, was suffering, and then the wife, he was dying looking at his wife, the female crane. In the end, the male crane male gave up his body, and at that moment, the woman crane, female crane, was suffering so much in separation. Seeing this situation, Valmiki Rishi, his heart melted. Immediately, he also became angry. His heart melted, and at the same time, anger came. His heart melted because sympathy came for the female parrot, female crane. And at the same time, he became angry because the hunter killed that male crane. So he took some water and he threw it and spoke a curse. The 2 crane birds, they were completely in love, and you completely separate the both of them. So on the basis of this kind of verse, Valmiki Rishi wrote the entire Ramayana. Tomorrow we'll speak more about it. This is the birthday of someone. He left. He said he would bring some sweet. He left, bringing the sweets also. There's also some sweets according to Ekadasi sweets. Anyway. Gurudev, she's asking about if you sleep during the day. If you take rest during the day.
You've gone for a nap. Then you change the clothes.
So when you sleep during the day, for sleeping. So you have to change your clothes if you sleep during the day, or is it just sprinkle some water on your head, Ganga water.
Change while sleeping to the new clothes. Sleeping clothes.
आजकल तो कोई हाथ
Nowadays people don't even wash their hands. They're on a tissue. Nowadays people don't even wash their hands. Everyone is Malaysia nowadays.
This